What's up, friends? Traveling to Korea, and I wanted to make this video because a lot of you guys showed interest as to what I will be packing for Taika. So this is everything I'm packing for him for a 13-hour flight. This is also going to be the first time in a few years that we are traveling internationally. I look around because the last time we traveled, we went to Japan and we went to Taiwan. Both of those are about the same time away. And at that point, he was about 2 or 3 years old. So it's a very different child now. I am a bit rusty when it comes to long travel, on a plane at least. We've done RV travel, we've done, travel within the US, and the iPad or just movies tends to be like the thing, but it's a whole different ballpark when we're talking about 13 hours plus. I want to even say 8 hours plus, honestly. Okay, so this is what I'm bringing for Taika, for Korea specifically. Okay, so I'm a huge fan of cubes when it comes to packing. It doesn't matter if it's packing for me or for Taika, I'm always gonna use cubes. And the main reason why I love me a good cube, these right here, I got them from Amazon. I will add my Amazon link to the description. Just be advised that there is a commission earned on that. I don't care about the commission. You can just click on it, click away, and open a new window or whatever. I don't care about it. I just want to make sure that you guys get whatever it is that I'm talking about. Or you don't have to. It's all good. But this, I love it because it keeps everything organized. I know at a glance where everything's gonna be. For example, this, I know it's all his underwear and socks. So once we get to the hotel, I'll take it out of his suitcase and I'll put it straight into the drawer. I won't take stuff out because I feel like once you start taking things out one by one and you kind of leave them all over the room, then that just is just the recipe for you to forget something when you're packing up and getting ready to go back home. So here I have 10 days worth of undies and socks for him. Right now, as I'm thinking, I'm like, I feel like 10 might be too perfect of a number because we are staying there 10 days. But we'll wing it. I don't want to pack a shit ton. Here I have, this is all gonna be his bottoms and big jacket. So we are traveling to Korea in mid-spring, maybe end spring, early summer. While we're there, it says it's gonna be sunny, maybe in the 80s. So I really don't know what to expect. So I do have 2 pairs of pants for him. I have, like, I'll show you. I have a denim, because I feel like you can't go wrong with denim if it's cold. They're thick enough to where it'll have him covered. I got these from Target. They have an elastic waistband, so no accidents. So I have this for him. And then I have this one. And these, I picked both of these on purpose because you can style them up, style them down. And these are kind of in the middle. They're not super thick and they're not super thin. So if it's just kind of like a breezy night and he's complaining about feeling slightly uncomfortable, then I have him covered here. I do have a light sweater for him. And then I do have a thicker, again, like with kids, you just can't tell, man. I do have a thicker jacket for him. This one was a steal. I got this at Marshall's, and I do highly recommend you go to Marshall's. You're just gonna find a lot of name brand stuff like Nike for like 50% off, if not more. So I have this for him, and that kind of covers any cold weather that we might encounter, or just any cold areas. We are gonna travel to Busan also, and I feel like that might be a little bit chillier. I don't know where I'm getting that information from. I'm like, I feel like we're closer to the ocean, so by default it would be colder. I have no clue, but I just like to be over prepared with kids instead of under prepared. But honestly, if you're someone that is super anxious or just doesn't want to travel with a lot of stuff, honestly, you can just tell yourself, whatever you don't have or you forgot to pack or you didn't pack, you can literally buy it, right? The only things you cannot buy are your passports, or you cannot buy money, right? So anything that you can replace, don't sweat it. You can always buy it wherever it is that you're going, especially if it's first world country like Korea. In this bag, now I just have all of his sets. When I do fold them, I do put the sets together, again, because I just don't want to think about anything. I want it to be just grab and go, thoughtless. I do have a bunch of shorts and tanks and light tees, again, because we're going to be there in the summer. I want my dude to feel comfy, and just in case he gets cold, you already saw the first pack already has a light sweater or jacket that he can wear. So that's pretty much everything in terms of his clothing. One thing I do want to show you is his toiletries. So what was cool about that cube set that I found on Amazon, it came with a toiletry bag, and it came with a shoe bag, and then it came with like another string pool bag, and I'm assuming that's for dirty clothes. But what I packed for Taika in his toiletry bag, you would think wouldn't be much, right? Because we would just share everything other than a toothbrush. But no, I'm bringing credit for things. So as most of you know, Taika is epileptic, so we do have to bring his medication with us, but because that is so important to us, I'm not going to pack that in his, not carry-on, but like his check-in luggage. I'm going to keep that on my personal body because it's just so important. That's just as important as my passport, as credit cards, as money. That is not leaving my body. But in his toiletry bag, I do have it checks his pulse, just in case he does have a fever or a seizure. I can always monitor his heart, and I just dropped it on the floor. I am going to bring a thermostat. Is it a thermostat? Thermometer? Jesus. A thermometer, in case he does get sick on this trip. I can at least gauge where his temperature is if he has a fever. Whoops, geez. I don't know what I have on my hands right now that I can't grip anything, but I do have his toothbrush and toothpaste in a little baggie, just because he's a kid. It's gonna get water everywhere. It's gonna get really messy, so I'd rather just contain it. I don't zip it because there's gonna be moisture coming from the toothbrush, and I don't want it to be stinky, so I am gonna leave it open for now. I'll just simply probably fold it over. There are mesh bags or just different things. Like this thing does have a cover for it, but he's 6. I expect him to lose this right off the bat, so I'm not really banking on it. And I just figured the Ziploc bag is the easiest, most inexpensive way to get about doing that. I do have his multivitamins. I use Hiya for him, not sponsored. I just looked at all the ingredients and they just seem to be the most healthy of all my options. No added sugars, all that good stuff. If you want to look them up, check them out. But yeah, he's been using this and I love it for him. Especially if we're traveling to another country. Everything's just different, right? Like the food's gonna be different, whatever bacteria or whatever's in their water, their food, or whatever our stomach is not gonna be used to. So I expect for at some point to be some sort of stomach issue on this trip. It doesn't always happen, but I would like to be prepared when it does. So for that, I'm bringing Pepto-Bismol for kids. Never hurts to be ready. I don't know, I'm just packing his pink eye medicine because it just seems like he's just getting it more and more these days. I don't know what's happening with his hands and his asshole, but those two are getting along and not getting along at the same time. I am packing some Tylenol for fever and pain. Again, I don't know. And since I'm going to another country, I don't know their medicine. I don't know anything there. So I'm probably already going to be panicking if he's not feeling well. So if I can just keep things with me that I'm familiar with and I know work, then I'll just do that. But again, we are going to a first world country. I don't think that they wouldn't have fever medication or whatever. So I'm not tripping, but I just want to give myself the added security and comfort of not having to panic in a moment where I will probably be like, oh shit, he doesn't feel good. That's just the worst. When your kids just don't feel good, you feel helpless. You're like trying to figure out what the symptoms are, what it could possibly be, and it's already pretty nerve-wracking. So as much as I can control that, I am. Okay, I am bringing some Ricola, some cough drops for him, just in case. Again, just trying to be prepared. And then I have his medication, and this is just in case of a huge emergency where he has seizure. He has a seizure and it just doesn't stop, or it goes over 3 minutes. Can you believe a seizure for 3 minutes? Yeah, that's probably gonna feel like a freaking eternity. But in case that happens, you put this on him. You administer this spray. I think it's up his nose. And then that should calm him down. Because, yeah, you don't want the seizure to ever go over 3 minutes because it could be deadly. It could damage his, damage the brain. There's so many bad things that can happen. But, yeah, that's everything I'm going to carry in his toiletry bag, which is going to be a check-in. So here it is. Here's everything for him. Now comes the fun stuff. This is the boring stuff. This is all the stuff that he needs, that he could give a shit less about. Now we're going to talk about all the fun stuff that he'll be doing on the flight that I'm praying to God works. And honestly, I'm not too scared because he is 6 years old. He can like entertain himself already. He can walk up and down the aisles if he needs to. So I'm not too worried about it. I think he's going to have a lot of fun with all the things that I already picked for him. And here, let me show you what I got. Okay, so all of these items I found on Amazon. And the idea behind these things was, one, I know he's going to want to play with us. So I'm looking at things that he's currently interested in. And he loves telling jokes. And he's also a reader. Tias and tios, aunties and uncles out there. He's a reader. So because of that, he's been into jokes a lot. So I got him this book called The Big Book of Silly Jokes for Kids. So there's 800 plus jokes. I know he's going to get a kick out of it. Sometimes we play a game from his, like, when we're driving in the car where he just wants to make jokes up because that's just how much he loves jokes. So I think he'll get a kick out of this one. He also likes to play Would You Rather. He'll be like, would you rather be in a tub full of scorpions or eat a cockroach? Like, he's really creative that way. So I got him a book of Would You Rathers. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then for times that, he's over the reading, then I got him a couple games that I know he loves. One of them is Guess Who. This is the one that you have like the little pictures kind of just standing up. And then as you like guess, you like start knocking them down. Well, obviously I'm not going to bring that on the plane, so it was really cool to find a card version of that. I haven't opened it yet. I don't know what the variation is going to be. Like, I don't know, do you hold it in your hand kind of like a deck of cards and then you just kind of like remove them? I don't know. I have to read the rules on it, but the fact that this exists, I was like, I'm getting that because I know he's going to have a lot of fun because we play it here at home and he is actually really good at it. I suck so bad. Another game that I know that he loves, that I know that we'll be playing with him is Guess in 10. This is animals. So he loves to play that game already where he gives us clues and then we have to figure it out. And he also has a different variation of it where he does it. He made this game up himself, by the way, where he tells you the superhero powers and then you have to guess the superhero. And ironically enough, they have a game like that. So I got both of these guys and this will be coming along with us. Now for times that we want him to have independent play. And I guess this is when more than one kid is really awesome. But that just wasn't in the card for us, so we just have one freaking super fantastic, amazing 6-year-old. I got him this pad of different games, and it has tic-tac-toe, which he loves, hangman, which now he can play because he's a reader, which means he's a speller. Dots and boxes, I might have to teach him how to play that one. Categories, I don't even know what that is. Oh, maybe like you select a letter and then you fill out whatever the category is. And then fortune teller. Dude, who remembers this game? When I saw this, it was like nostalgia. It took me back to like 3rd grade. So you make like this pyramid looking thing and then you open it this way and then you count and then you can open it this way or like the opposite way. And then it tells your fortune, like who you're going to marry, what house you're going to live in, how rich you're going to be, all that shit. I don't know. Do kids still play that? I don't know, but I found that. So I got that for him. And highlights. I love highlights. I think it's such a cool book for kids. It's so educational and he really likes it too. So I found this pack. I haven't opened it yet, but it looks like it comes with 3, 4, like 4.5 books. I don't know what this mini one is, so I'm calling it the half. And as you can see, all of this stuff is still wrapped. The last thing you want to do, parents, or people traveling with kids, the last thing you want to do is buy this, let them play with it, and then bring it on the trip. No. They're going to be so bored with it because they're going to be like, I already know what this is. This is boring. You keep that from him or them until it's time to travel. They want new and exciting. You want new and exciting, right? So keep this away from them up until you're in the airplane now, hopefully in the air, and they're getting on your god freaking damn nerves, and you're like, here, I got you this. And you're gonna be like, ooh, shiny new thing. Trust me on that. And then the last thing, well, not the last thing, but one of the last things I got him, you can tell I want him to stay busy, is he's currently so in love with dinosaurs right now. He knows all the names of all the most obscure dinosaurs, like a freaking, what is it called? Grymococcus? I have no idea. But anyway, so I got him this. It's an activities book. I think you can put like a bunch of stickers everywhere. Yeah, it's a sticker book. And then you kind of get to create your own scenes. That'll keep him busy for a minute. So this is just stuff that he can play with once he gets bored of watching movies. That and just playing on his iPad. Of course, we're bringing the iPad. I would highly recommend, and this is what I still need to do before we leave, and I will not forget to do this because it's going to be my lifeline, is I'm going to download like a handful of movies for him to watch. Maybe like, so if it's a 13-hour flight, I'll do a minimum of 8 different movies, maybe even 10 if the iPad can support that. And yeah, so I'll download movies for him, and I'll download anything I can download that requires internet. I'm going to try to get it on his iPad, because that's the last thing you want, is to be on the airplane and then find out you don't have Wi-Fi, and then the iPad just becomes useless. I'm not saying rely on the iPad, but it's freaking dope. Like, we don't use an iPad as adults, but we love the fucking screen, don't we? So it's the same concept. So this is all just to kind of like help rotate things around, because kids are fickle. They're very moody. One minute they're cool, the next they're not. So we're just trying to catch them at different phases of their mood and make sure that we have something, you know, to provide or to give them to keep them entertained, because 13 hours even for us is crazy. Like, how many people do you see walking up and down the aisles? They need to stretch. They need to just kind of move around because, you know, people get ants in their pants and it makes them do the boogie dance. You know what I'm saying? I just was reminded of that because I told Taika that one. Okay, now this part is one of my favorite parts, and I'm so happy that now Taika is at an age where he can do it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I know half of what I'm getting him is going to be super fucking rad. And the thing that I got him is an Instax. This is an Instax Mini 9. Honestly, this was mine and Bart's. We never used it. And I was like, wait a minute, we have this. So I just gave it to Taika. And ironically enough, it's in a really cool kid color. So he was super drawn to it. Super easy to use. Let me see. Oh, you press this button, it's on. That's it. You can already hear the flash charging. All you need to do is press the button. And then it takes your pictures, and it's just an instant picture comes out. And that's always so fun for kids to see that develop. And then once you're done, you just close it, camera's off. So it's easy peasy for little kids. For that, it is battery powered. It's not rechargeable. So I am bringing an extra battery pack for that. Again, they'll have batteries in Korea, but I just want to be prepared. And it's such small, like it's just taking so little space that like, why not be prepared? I did buy more film. Each one of these was like 40 bucks. 50 bucks, but it's 60. So think about like $1 per. It's rough. But the memories that are going to be made, I'm stoked for it. So I can't wait to see all the pictures that he takes. I can't wait to see Korea through his perspective. It's going to be so, so rad. And the last thing I got, that this is the part of the half of this that I was saying, I don't know how it's going to go down, but I did get him a travel journal. So in this travel journal, it gives you different prompts that he can draw or contribute to. Like, he can have his thoughts, he can add the pictures that he just took, and then write memories of that picture. So right here it says like, I saw. He could put the picture there, or he can write it out. I heard. The funniest thing was, if only I'd brought. The weirdest thing was, and I think it's just going to be a really cool activity for me and him, and I'm for sure Bart, to just ask him these questions and get all these answers. And it's going to be something so cool for him to look back on once he gets older. Or he just might not, and I just wasted a fuck ton of money, but whatever. It should be fun. So I'm gonna try really hard to help him fill this out during our trip. And if I am successful, I should say, then maybe I'll just share it on here and show you guys. Yes, so now, where does all this go? So I think I ran into the same dilemma that I did with my backpack, with his backpack. So when I bought my base backpack, I bought him one as well, and this was a thing that got me. So this is his backpack. So cute, right? The colors are so cute. This is his carry-on. What I really liked was it comes with a little fanny pack. So I figured once we're traveling, or like, you know, we're walking around Korea, he can have his fanny pack with either his camera or whatever bullshit kids like to carry. You know, they carry like a stick and a rock and like one marble and shit. But I just thought it'd be a cool idea that he carries his own stuff. But I say that to say I might have to take these things out of the box, or I might have to put it in my backpack. I got to figure out what the inside looks like. Oh, it looks like it needs the box. But yeah, putting all this stuff in here, it feels like it might be a little too small. I don't know, I really like it. So either I might save this backpack for his school and just take the fanny pack and bring that with us. Or, because he does have a bigger backpack, but I just really like this one. And it even has a little slot so you can stick it on your suitcase. I don't know, I'm still kind of working out the backpack situation. But I highly recommend that they have their backpack and they carry their own gear. And this is, parents, you have to listen to this part, okay? When it comes to traveling, before you guys leave the house, maybe even a day before or the week of your travel, it's so important. It's of paramount importance that you prep your kids and you let them know, hey, obviously this is if they're capable of doing so, okay? Disclaimer. But you have to tell them, hey, once we get out of this house, everyone is responsible for their own shit. Obviously, you're not going to cuss, but you get what I'm saying, right? You prep them to say, okay, we're big boys and big girls now. Mommy is going to take care of her backpack and her luggage. Wherever mommy goes, that luggage goes with her. I cannot help you. I have to carry my own things. You need to help yourself, okay? It does sound a little bit harsh, but trust me, the amount of ownership and confidence that you are instilling in your kids, you're going to see a difference in them, and you're going to be like, oh, they're so capable and grown up, and you're going to be so fucking proud of them, okay? I did this with Taika when we went to Hawaii. It was it Hawaii? I forgot, but it was him and I traveling alone. We were going to meet Dad at the destination, so it was just him and I just physically could not take on more stuff because I had my stuff to take care of, and I was just overwhelmed with like the items that I needed to carry with me, that I was like, hey man, this is when you need to be a big boy and you need to take charge and take care of your own luggage. And dude, when I tell you, he took ownership of that shit, and he was so proud of himself that he was also contributing to our unit. Man, it like completely changed the perspective of how I viewed him. Yes, he's a little boy, but I think that's how we build confidence in our kids. You have to let them contribute, one, to the family, and two, you have to let them do things. You have to let them feel a sense of ownership and responsibility. They're just mimicking our behavior. So when they see us doing that and now that's put upon them, they're actually really excited and happy to contribute to that. So please, please, please don't carry their shit for them. They're highly capable, and you're not being mean at all. You're actually giving them so much independence and so much confidence. So please do not rob that from them by doing everything for them. Please, I beg you. So with all of that said, get a backpack for them. Make sure that that is their carry-on and they have extreme ownership of that backpack. It might be heavy and they might be complaining, and at that point you can also kind of test their limits to see how far you can push until they're just like, they just physically cannot take it. You'd be surprised. These kids are highly capable and their bodies are brand new. What the fuck, right? Okay, so I'll put all of this stuff in his backpack. This might get a little bit too heavy too fast because I also have to consider he is going to be carrying an iPad. So I might carry these for him, but I'm just going to see how I can work that out. Also with their luggage, I highly recommend that you have the ones that like stand up and they have 4 wheels that you can just kind of push as it's standing, because that's just going to be the easiest for them to push and carry and pull or whatever to take care of. Let them take their own luggage. They don't have a bunch of shit. If they do have a bunch of shit, it's probably your shit or the rest of the family shit in there, and then I guess at that point you should take care of it. But if it's just their shit in there, let them carry it. They're gonna be so fucking happy to do so. So let them be in charge of their backpack and their luggage. Obviously, you're like monitoring it, make sure they're not forgetting anything. But I'm telling you, you're gonna see a difference, and I cannot wait to hear all the parents out there that follow my advice and go, dude, that was fucking sick to witness. You're right, Gio. Yeah. That was my whole spiel on like having them have extreme ownership of their stuff. And I think that's just kind of everything that I'm going to be packing for him. The most essential one being, obviously, the iPad, because it's going to have the movies for him. Oh, and headphones. We need headphones, so don't forget to pack headphones, which, as I'm saying this now, I was forgetting to pack his headphones. So headphones are so important. So pack those for them. Also, when it comes to the flight day, put them in sweats, put them in something comfortable, even if it is hot outside. Especially for these long flights, they tend to get really cold inside. Like the AC just gets really, really cold. So if you can, have them be in sweats and a sweater and maybe a little blanket if it's not too much to carry. Obviously, a lot of these airlines will provide a blanket for you upon request, or sometimes they already just have it there for you. They will have that, so you don't have to worry too much. But when it comes to kid, I try to travel as lightly as I possibly can. I know depending on the age, you'll need like a bunch of shit, right? Like they need to take a nap or they need to do whatever. But as much as slim as you can travel with them, I would highly recommend doing that. Like it's cool and it feels like, you know, you need to buy this thing for them to like sit on and then you tug them through the airport. It's like you don't need all that shit, right? You just want to be mobile, you want to be able to move fast, and there's just going to be a lot of walking involved. So trust me when I tell you to travel as light as possible. Whatever fits in their freaking backpack, leave it at that, right? Don't bring all this extra bullshit. Snacks, I would also bring snacks, and then I would have them be in charge of their snacks. You can have your own snacks for yourself, but put those snacks on their carry-on and they take care of their own shit. And trust me, you're gonna love the kid that you're gonna witness once they like unlock that they're like responsible for big people stuff. They're gonna love it and you're gonna love what you see. Yeah, I think that's it. Traveling shouldn't be complicated. Make it as stress-free and simple for yourself as possible. If you're someone that feels like you need a bunch of shit, just kind of think 3 steps ahead. Like, what is that going to look like? Checking it in, checking it out, going in a freaking taxi, or putting it in a car, or taking a public transportation, like a bus or train. Like, what is all that going to look like? Try to play out those scenarios in your head and see what you can, like, really do without, and don't bring it. That's it. That's all I got, friends. I hope I was able to give you some insights. Have a lot of fun. I'm so happy for you, and I'm so happy for myself that I get to provide such an awesome experience for my kid. And I'm so stoked that you're going to offer the world to your kid and you're going to explore the world with your kid. The amount of memories you guys are going to make is going to be unmatched. It's going to be amazing. So have fun. Enjoy yourself. If you have any further questions, put them down in the comments below or hit me up on Instagram via DM. It's Gio_Antoinette. Have a fucking blast. I know I'm gonna have a blast. Stay tuned because there's Korea vlogs coming your way, and see you soon. Bye.